Is your breakfast silently stealing your memories? Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went in? Or struggled to remember someone's name Evan, though you just spoke to them last week? These little lapses become more common after 65. But what if they're not just about getting older? What if some of the foods we've trusted for years are quietly making it worse? Today, we're going to uncover 5 everyday foods that may be hurting your memory and show you simple swaps to support a sharper, healthier brain. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. You deserve to feel confident in your body and your mind. Let's take a thoughtful look at what's on our plates. 1. Sugary breakfast cereals. The sweet trap meat George. Age 71. Every morning he poured himself a bowl of honey-coated flakes. It's what I've always had, he told me. Quick, easy, and it tastes good. But by 10 a.m., George was foggy, distracted, and reaching for more coffee. What was happening? Cereals high in refined sugar cause a spike in blood sugar. A crash shortly after. This roller coaster affects focus, energy, and mood. Over time, diets high in added sugar have been linked to faster cognitive decline and even increased risk of dementia. The brain needs glucose. Yes, but not in the form of sugary cereals that spike and crash. A better option for George. Steel oats topped with blueberries, walnuts, and a touch of cinnamon. Now, he says, I feel more steady all morning and I can actually remember what I meant to do. Many people like George grew up starting their mornings with cereal, something commercials once called the best way to start the day. But the truth is, many popular cereals today contain over 12 grams of sugar per serving. Not to mention the hidden sugars in milk or dried fruit that often come with them. Eating these kinds of breakfasts daily creates a cycle of blood sugar spikes and crashes, which directly affects your ability to focus, concentrate, and retain information throughout the day. Even more concerning, research has shown that diets high in added sugar can actually shrink the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. That's one reason why people who eat a lot of sugar often feel forgetful or mentally sluggish. So, if you enjoy breakfast cereals, don't worry. You don't have to give them up completely, just make a smarter choice. Switch to whole grain cereals, and consider adding a sprinkle of cinnamon, a spice shown to help stabilize blood sugar. This small change can support your memory while keeping your morning ritual intact. 2. Processed meats. A salty saboteur. 68, used to enjoy a ham sandwich almost every afternoon. It was part of my routine, she said. Just like when I was working. But she began noticing trouble, recalling details during conversations. Names, dates, even her grocery list. Here's the thing. Processed meats like deli, turkey, ham, bacon, and hot dogs are packed with sodium nitrates and preservatives. These additives are linked to inflammation, which scientists believe may contribute to memory loss and slower brain function over time. Too much sodium also raises blood pressure, which can reduce blood flow to the brain, not a good combination. For memory, when Linda swapped her cold cuts for grilled chicken breast and avocado toast, she felt lighter both mentally and physically. I didn't think lunch could make such a difference, she said. But it does. Linda is not alone. Statistics show that the average American eats about 18 pounds of processed meat every year. And that can quietly take a toll on brain health. Nitrites and nitrates, common preservatives in deli meats, don't just inflame blood vessels, they also interfere with blood flow to the brain. When your brain doesn't get enough oxygen and nutrients, memory, comprehension, and language abilities can begin to decline. A long-term study in Australia found that those who consumed the most processed meat had a 44% higher risk of cognitive decline compared to those who ate the least. What's heartbreaking is that the damage happens slowly, often without symptoms, until it becomes noticeable later in life. Instead of cold cuts, try making quick meals at home. Roasted chicken, pancered salmon, or even boiled eggs. Pair them with fresh greens, avocado, or a bit of hummus, and you've got a delicious, heart-healthy meal that supports both body and mind. 3. Diet sodas. The deceptive drink Harold was proud he gave up regular soda. I've been drinking diet for 20 years, he said with a smile. But when his wife noticed he was repeating himself in conversations, she encouraged him to dig deeper. Recent studies suggest that artificial sweeteners, especially aspartame, may impact learning and memory, particularly in older adults. While the research is still developing, early signs are concerning enough to warrant caution. Plus, diet sodas offer no nutritional value and may still trigger sugar cravings or disrupt the gut-brain axis, which plays a huge role in cognitive Health. Harold made the switch to herbal teas and sparkling water with lemon. He says he sleeps better, feels clearer, and surprisingly misses soda less than he thought he would. Sometimes healthy habits just need a second look. It's easy to see why Harold reached for diet sodas. They're 0 calories, sugar-free, and marketed as diabetic. But few people notice the tiny print on the can. Contains aspartame or sucralose, artificial sweeteners that may affect brain function. One study published in the journal Stroke found that people who drank at least one diet soda per day had a 2 to 3 times higher risk of stroke and dementia compared to those who didn't drink them. What's more, these artificial sweeteners can disrupt the gut microbiome, the complex system of bacteria in your digestive tract that scientists now call the second brain. When that system is thrown off balance, it can influence mood, memory, and even the immune system. For Harold, switching to cold herbal teas or diluted fresh fruit juices not only helped reduce his risk, but also gave him a relaxing new afternoon ritual, one that nurtured both his body and mind. 4. White bread and refined carbs. The blood sugar brain fog. Judy, 74, loved her morning toast and afternoon crackers. It's comfort food, she said. But she began forgetting appointments, even missing her granddaughter's dance recital. That broke her heart. Here's why. Refined carbs like white bread, white rice, and most baked goods are quickly converted to sugar in the body. This leads to insulin spikes, which over time can lead to insulin resistance, a condition now being studied as a contributor to Alzheimer's disease. These foods also lack fiber, which the brain needs to function smoothly. Judy didn't give up bread entirely. She switched to whole grain options rich in fiber and nutrients that support brain health, like B vitamins. I still have my toast, she said, but now I remember to show up for the moments that matter. For years, trans fats were hidden in plain sight. From flaky pie crusts to microwave popcorn, margarine to frozen pizzas, fats were celebrated for shelf life, but not for what they did inside the human body. Let's talk about Martha. At 72, she prided herself on cooking at home and rarely ate fast food. But her love for store-bought baked goods, those prepackaged muffins and biscuits, was something she never questioned. I thought I was eating better, she said, but I didn't realize I was feeding my forgetfulness. You see, trans fats, often labeled as partially hydrogenated oils, don't just clog arteries. They affect brain cell communication, slow neural processing, and increase inflammation in the brain. A major study published in Neurology found that seniors with high levels of trans fats in their blood were more than twice as likely to develop dementia. What makes trans fats especially dangerous is their long-term impact. You may not feel the effect today, but year after year, they quietly erode your mental sharpness. So what can we do? Check ingredient labels. Even if the package says 0 grams trans fat, if it includes partially hydrogenated oil, it's still hiding trans fats. Opt for whole food snacks like a handful of walnuts, a banana with peanut butter, or whole grain toast with avocado. If you enjoy baked goods, consider baking at home using heart-healthy oils like olive or avocado oil. Avoiding trans fats isn't about giving up taste. It's about giving your brain the clarity it deserves. 5. Margarine and hydrogenated oils. The sneaky inflamers. For years, margarine was marketed as the heart-healthy choice. But many brands, especially older ones, are filled with trans fats and hydrogenated oils that can trigger brain inflammation. Richard, 77, used to spread margarine on everything. It's what we all switched to in the 80s, he said. We thought we were doing the right thing. But trans fats don't just harm the heart, they've been shown to disrupt memory, reduce brain plasticity, and increase the risk of cognitive decline. Richard swapped out margarine for a small amount of grass-fed butter and extra virgin olive oil, both rich in healthy fats that the brain loves. Now he says, I enjoy my food more and I feel sharper, too. It's common to hear, a glass of wine a day is good for the heart. And in moderation, that can be true. But there's a fine line, especially after 6-5. Take Bill, for example. A retired teacher, he enjoyed 2 glasses of wine each night with dinner. He felt relaxed, social. But over time, his family began noticing he repeated himself more often, forgot appointments, and misplaced items frequently. The truth is, our bodies metabolize alcohol more slowly as we age. That means alcohol stays in our system longer and affects us more deeply. Even small amounts can interfere with REM sleep, which is crucial for memory consolidation. More importantly, alcohol directly impacts the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Studies have shown that even light to moderate drinking in older adults can accelerate cognitive decline, especially when combined with other risk factors like high blood pressure or medication use. If you do enjoy a drink, here are a few gentle adjustments. Choose alcohol-free days during the week to give your brain and liver a rest. Consider mocktails with fresh herbs, citrus, and sparkling water. They're festive and support hydration. Reflect on why you drink. Is it habit, social, routine, or stress relief? Addressing the root cause can open healthier alternatives. For Bill, cutting back didn't mean cutting joy. He started taking evening walks with his wife instead of pouring a second glass. I still sleep better, he said, and I feel sharper in the mornings. You deserve a clear, confident mind. These 5 foods, though common and familiar, can have powerful effects on the aging brain. But the best part, you're not stuck. Simple, thoughtful changes in what we eat can protect our memory, improve our focus, and help us stay fully present for life's precious moments. So now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Are there any memory-friendly swaps you've already made? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about, because a healthy mind is a gift, one worth preserving every single day.